Thank you. Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
Thank you. Oh, thank you.
Amen. This is probably.
So we're in the middle of the Agadata about Mida Keneged Mida. And it all came because of Sotah. We had already many Shimshon and Avshalom, and we had a sugya about Miriam Agav. And then what was after Avshalom? Then we had Miriam Agav, but that was all. I think that was till yesterday. And now goes Yosef. There's Yosef and Moshe. That Yosef buried Yaakov, and he was the greatest amongst the brothers. And he was Zocher that Moshe was the greatest amongst Am Yisrael, buried him. And then Moshe got schar that Hashem buried him. That's the Mishnah talk about Mida Keneged Mida. So here it talks about Yosef. This is the next you're starting with Yosef. Yosef Zocha. Now the more darshans the whole parsha, not only the point about Mida Keneged Mida, but it's going to darshan the whole parsha of Yosef. In the beginning, when they were going down, when they're going up to Eretz Yisrael to bury Yaakov, so it says Yosef and Avdei Paroi and the family of Yosef, all his brothers. The order was Yosef, the Avdei Paro, and then the family of Yosef. But on the way back, on the way back it says Yosef, the brothers, and then the rest of the entourage, the rest of the. How come the order changed from the way going to Eretz Yisrael to bury him and the way back that the brothers went in front of the Avdei Paro? They gave more honor to the Acha Yosef on the way back because they saw how much honor came to Yaakov. So they gave more cover to his sons also, or to Yosef's brothers. There's a story now. I was going to say the story how much cover happened by the Levaya. So then the Avdei Paro gave more cover to the brothers of Yosef. What happened? It says on the way of the Levaya, they came to a place called Goren HaAtad. Literally, I mean, that's a place, but the Gemara's Dashni Goren means like a silo, and Atad is thorns. You don't have a silo of thorns. You can go in the Yeshlo Atad, you don't make a silo. That's used for wheat, you don't make the thorns. Just like a silo, they fence in that it should be protected, so they put thorn bush all around in order to protect it. So that's the way, the lesson of saying like a circle. So too, they circled crowns of kings, circled the Oren of Yaakov. What happened? Shabo b'nei Esav, b'nei Shmuel, b'nei Keturah, Tana Hulam v'Malchama Bo, that different nations came. B'nei Esav, b'nei Shmuel, b'nei Keturah. Keturah is the wife of Avrohom after Sarah died. Some saying they made that it was Hagar. Pashup Pshat, it's probably not, but in the Drash it is. But it says b'nei Esav, b'nei Shmuel, b'nei Keturah, and they all came. The Brisa says they all came for Malchama. They really were going to come into fight. But
all the way, the came all the way from the east.
Yeah. And Chilin Sharo, Kisra Shal Yosef, Tali Baroni Shal Yaakov, not to Kulan Kisrain, but Tolam Baroni Shal Yaakov. But when they saw Yosef's crown was hung by the coffin of Yaakov, so they took all of their crowns and they also put their crowns on the Oren of Yaakov, so it was surrounded with crowns, with kingly crowns. Altogether 36 crowns. Rashi makes the cheshbon 35, plus the one of Yosef was 36. Rashi makes the cheshbon, how do you get 35? Rashi makes the cheshbon about Bnei Yesod, Bnei Shmuel, Bnei Keturah, how many we know about them. So altogether there were 36 crowns. And then when the people of Paro, Avdei Paro themselves, they saw 36 crowns around the Oren of Yaakov, so they were impressed with the family, and they gave more cover to the Avdei, to the Ache Yosef.
Did you say sons of Esau as well? Or
it says Bnei Esau, Bnei Shmuel, Bnei Keturah. That's what it says.
They all took off their crowns to honor Yaakov.
That's what it says. First they came to war, and then when they saw Yosef's crown over there, could be the Yosef's crown means because Yosef was the king of Mitzrayim's Mishnah Lamelech, so they were scared. Maybe that, or they saw how much honor Yaakov got. Whatever the point's going to be. So I don't understand the Medrash so much over here because the reason why did they see more that they didn't know before? It doesn't say that they saw the Gedula of the Ache Yosef. They just saw the Gedula of Yaakov or the Gedula of Yosef that they knew before also. So what impressed them now that they gave more cover to the brothers of Yaakov. But that's what it says on the way back. They did honor them. Rashi down the Chumash also, this Gemara. On the way back, they gave them more honor than the way there. It says in the pasuk,
What
"Vayispu."
was the motivation of Milchama? Why they come?
Probably not such a kasha against Am Yisrael. What's the motivation?
Umanut HaGadol.
That's the default.
That's what they do.
If something was going to say about that, the Asa, that's going to be the Asa personally didn't want he should be buried over there, but I don't know if that's what the point in this Gemara we have. It says in the pasuk, "Vayispu Sham Mispeit Gadol B'Kaved Ma'od." It says that they eulogized Yaakov over there a big hesped. Even the horses and the donkeys also were wailing. I don't know. So that means that they sensed something. I don't know whatever you're going to say. That there was the Gemara continues. But when they came to Marsa Machpelah and they were ready to bury Yaakov, so Esav came and he was stopping. And it says he didn't say that for the drasha, but the point is to say that there was enough place for a certain amount of burial plots. Hebron is called Kiryas Arba. The Pashup Pshat Kiryas Arba means the Kirya of a man called Arba. There's a person called Arba. That's Pashup Pshat. But the Gemara says a drash that it was four. What does it mean? Arba. There were four pairs, four couples. Adam v'Chava, Avram v'Sara, Yitzchak v'Rivka, Yaakov v'Leah. The Pashup doesn't say about Adam v'Chava. The rest of them is psukim. Avram v'Sara, that's open psukim. But Adam v'Chava is not. And it says there were room for four zugas. And Yaakov and Leah are buried over there, but Esau said that Leah is buried there, and now there's only room for one more. I also get a chiluk in the room. So you cover the Leah the day behind the payish. Yaakov buried Leah in his plot. Means the last two should have been one for me and one for Esau, one for Yaakov. And Yaakov used his by burying Leah. So I have the right to the last one. Behind the payish, so the one that's left over is mine. So you have no right to bury Yaakov over there. Esau said that he had the right to the last plot. Amalei Zvinta. So they said to Esav that he bought it. He bought Marsa Machpelah from you. Amalahuni, he does vini b'chirusa pshitusa mizvini. I just sold the Bechora, but the Bechora means the double portion. But I still have a right to a single portion. So as far not a Bechora, but I should get chelik also in the Marsa Machpelah. Amalei in the chsiv v'kivri ater karisili. V'amri Avrohom mishum Hashem b'yom etzadak en kira alalosh mechira sheken v'karchei yom karno mechira kira. The pasuk says that Yaakov told Yosef to bury him in the grave that I karisili. The pasuk pshat means that I dug, like kiyach v'esh bor. Pasuk pshat means that in the grave that I dug. Yaakov had dug out a grave for himself in his lifetime. But the Rabbi Yochanan says in the name of Hashem ben Yetzadah that the word kira means like mechira, means like sale that I bought. I bought the Marsa Machpelah. So Yaakov said that he bought the Marsa Machpelah not because of the border with the Bechorah. Besides the Bechorah, also he bought the Marsa Machpelah also from Esav that he should have the right to have a whole thing for himself. It's true that Esav gets Yerusha, but the Marsa Machpelah, Yaakov bought him out. The Rashi and Chumash brings down that the money that he got from Lavan, he gave the whole thing to Esav for the Marsa Machpelah. Rashi brings down. They bring down Rashi in two places. Says it that he gave all the money that he got from Lavan. He gave it. Made a pile out of it. Kri. He made a pile out of it. Not like Agamor. Agamor says Mechira, but there was another Medrash. Rashi brings Kri like a pile. He took all the gold and silver that he got from Lavan and he gave it to Esav. I want the Marsa Machpelah. So Amalahu, Amuli Yigata. He still denied it. He said, "Bring me the contract." Amalei Yigata about the Mitzrayim. It's in Mitzrayim. It's not here. We don't have the contract with us. Aman Nazel Naphtali. They call him Kaya Ilasa. So they said that Naphtali should go to bring it. He's very fast. Like it says, he's like a deer. He's like a running ayol. So Hanos and Imre Shofar, the Mordash that also. The Pashto means he's the one who brings good news. Imre Shofar, I'll take the Imre Shofar, Imre Sefer, that he's able to bring the document. He should go bring the document that Yaakov had bought the Marsa Machpelah from Esav, and they were waiting that Naphtali should go to Mitzrayim and come back. Esav was stopping. He says you have no right to bury him. So everyone knows the end of the story. Chushim bred the Don, Taman Hava. Chusham, the son of Dan, was there, and Yekir, he was the only son of Dan. Dan had one son, Bnei Dan Chushim. Yekir and Leudnei, he had heavy hearing, heavy ears. He wasn't able to hear well. Amaluhu Mai, hi, what's happening? He saw that everyone's waiting. What's happening? Amalei Kamakiv, hi. Adas Naphtali, Ma'adam Mitzrayim. That this person, they pointed to Esav, that he's the one who's stopping because Naphtali has to go to Mitzrayim, but we're waiting for him. Amaluhu Ba'adas Naphtali Ma'adim Mitzrayim, Yeheya Avi Aviab Mutal Bebizayan. It wasn't that he wasn't able to hear at all. He wasn't mamish deaf. He was able to hear, but they had to say loud to him. But he got the idea that they're waiting for Naphtali to come. So he said, until Naphtali is going to come back from Mitzrayim, so my grandfather is going to be laying over here in Bizayan. It's a Bizayan to hold him Esav. Shokol Kupa Machia Reishe. he took a club and he banged him on the head. Esav Hushim killed Esav. Natron, I don't know if he intended to kill him, but Maisi killed him. Natron, Yaakov. So his eyes popped out. Esav's eyes popped out, and they fell by the foot of Yaakov. Everybody knows that his head came off, right? I don't know. It doesn't say that. Anybody could they find that?
And the head rolled into the grave. That's
So Safai doesn't say. It doesn't say it over here.
no, that's just the right.
Okay, if everybody could do homework, if everybody could find out where it says that Esav said is in Rosmach, but here it says that his eyes came out and they fell in by the feet of Yaakov. Yeah, I also did, but I don't remember now where it is. Here it says that his eyes. So Yaakov opened up his eyes. Yaakov was dead. He was embalmed already, and he smiled. He smiled at Esav's eyes. He also died. We brought out this past a couple of times that the tzaddik rejoices when he sees revenge. His feet he washes in the blood of the Russia. This is about his feet. It fell to his feet. At that point, the prophecy of Rivka was fulfilled. Why should I bereave both of you on the same day? That's when she told Yaakov to go to Lavan to get away from Esav because Esav was going to kill him. Why should I bereave both of you? So she didn't mean to prophesy, but there was a prophecy that happened on the same day. Now, he didn't die on the same day. Esav died on this day, and that they were going to bury Yaakov. But Yaakov was 70 days already. It was 70 days, Shivim Yom, and plus another 40 Yifko or so. I forgot how many days over there. 40 days. I forgot what it was over there. But there was a long time since a couple of months since Yaakov died. Even though they didn't die the same day, but they did get buried the same day. Period.
But she wasn't mourning because Yaakov filled out his ears. In other words, she said I should bereave on the same day of the death of my son. And so
the one point that both of them are going to be on the same day, that was is in her prophet, in the words that she said. She wasn't bereaved. She died already. She wasn't there bereaving anything. But the point is that both of them died the same day. Not died the same day. Both of them were buried the same day. The Gemara goes back to the point that Yosef is the one who buried Yaakov. It makes it sound a little bit. I don't know what the Gemara sees in the Kasha, that if Yosef wouldn't have done it, the brothers wouldn't have done it. But the brothers would have done it. I don't see where the Gemara sees that the brothers wouldn't have done it. It just says that Yosef was the one who did it. But the Gemara is asking, why did the brothers not do it? Why did Taka Yosef be the one to do it and not the brothers? The brothers also cared about Yaakov. The brothers also carried Yaakov to a burial. So how come it only says that Yosef did it?
He was Melech at that point. He was the Melech. Why would it be any other way?
But maybe that's what the Gemara answers. On the contrary, the brothers were asking Yosef should do it in order that it should be more covered for Yaakov, even though they would have wanted to, but they gave more covered. The fact that it was by Yosef did it, so it's more covered for Yaakov. Who is the greatest, who got the biggest burial honor than Yosef, who Moshe himself was the one who took care of Yosef's bones. See how beloved mitzvahs were to Moshe. She called Yisrael Kul in Saska Babiza, who in Saska mitzvahs, everybody, when they were leaving Mitzrayim, everybody was taking the spoils from Mitzrayim. Like it says, they should all take things from the Mitzrayim. But he went to get the bones of Yosef. The person who's smart will grab mitzvahs. Everybody's grabbing gold and silver, he was grabbing mitzvahs. New question. Moshe Rabbeinu, Yosef Kovu. How did he know? So we don't know that there's any difficulty, but the Medrash knows the answer, that there was difficulty in finding out where Yosef's bones were. So the question is, how did he know? How did Moshe Rabbeinu know where the bones of Yosef were? So everybody knows the two Midrashim. Amru, Serach Basasha Nishtayim Mosador. Serach Basasha was still around. She was still living. That was the Midrashim said she was the one who had told Yaakov that Joseph was still alive, and he gave her a bracha for a long life. So she was still alive. Allah Moshe Atzla. Amallah Klumat Yudah Sechan Yosef Kover. So Moshe Rabbeinu went to Serach Basasha and asked, do you know where Yosef is buried? Amallah Aaron Shamatecha Soslo Mitzrayim v'Kavruhu Benilos Anohar Kadesha Izbochu Meimav. So she said that they made an iron coffin and sunk it into the Nilos. They thought that would be a way that the Nile would be blessed if Yosef's Aaron is buried over there. So he went to the edge of the Nile. Amar lo Yosef, Yosef, Higia, Eish Anish B'Kadosh Baruch Hu Shani Goal Eschem, Higia Shavua Sheish Bata Es Yisrael. That the time came that Hashem swore that I'm going to take you out, I'm going to redeem you. And the time has come for the swore that you swore, you adjured Am Yisrael that they should take your bones. But now you're stuck in the Nile. How can we take you? If you're going to show yourself where you are, so we'll take you, we'll fulfill the shvur. But if not, then we're putter because we're honest. We can't get your bones. So the coffin was iron, metal, but it floated up and he was able to take it.
But it says it's him, not of time. Money gish and the girl at him, it says.
I'm not sure what the kasha is.
Well, why in the plural?
Am Yisrael is getting redeemed.
He sold it to Yosef.
He says what Hashem, he's saying what Hashem said to Am Yisrael. And therefore he says that, and it came the time that your shvua. That's what it says, right? Because Nishmani go leschem is Am Yisrael, v'giyah shvua sheshpat es Yisrael. So this is what Hashem swore to Am Yisrael. I'm going to redeem Am Yisrael, and now they're supposed to fulfill the shvur to take Yosef's bones. If you show yourself good, if not, not. So it says the Oren started floating. So that brings an agav thing to show that it's we've had before, or in other times, not before, later on, that the iron floated. Also, Tom, but don't be surprised that how could it be that Oren Shom Teches was able to float? If Bazel Tzaf, how is it able that iron should float? We have it. Shavei Ksiv says the pasuk. This is pasuk by Elisha. And he said, Let's all the pasuk. The pasuk in Malachim, over here that says in the side, somebody was chopping down a tree, and with the axe, the metal fell into the water, and he said to Elisha that it's borrowed, it's not mine. So the Navi said, Elisha said, where did it fall? And he showed him the place, and he took a piece of wood, he cut a piece of wood, and he threw it there. And for him, for Elisha, this Talmud of Moshe, the iron floated. The name Moshe Rabbeinu alachas kama v'kama. So surely when Moshe Rabbeinu wants something to float, so surely he's going to float. So that was one shot. And how did Moshe know where it was? He asked Asher, and she said that it was in the Nile, and that's what. And he went to the Nile, and it floated. But a different version. But kabernit shel malachim. So kabernit they say is lashon of kever, kabernit. That it was a place, a cemetery of kings. Kabor, Valach Moshe Bamad al Kabernit shel malachim. We didn't know which one is Yosef. Amar Yosef. Higia Yisrael B'Kadosh Baruch Hu Shani Goal Eschem. Higia Shvua Sheish Bata Es Yisrael. That the time has come to Am Yisrael. So Hashem said He's going to redeem Am Yisrael, and time came that your shvua that you said Am Yisrael should take your bones. If you're going to show yourself good, if not, we'll put it because we can't get your bones. You have to show us where you are. So then the Oren of Yosef started moving amongst all the other coffins, and he knew which one was Yosef. He took it and he brought it.
Why did all the other ones go? Which other coffins were in the water?
We're not in the water anymore. Now we're going to a cemetery of Malachim, Kabbanisham Malachim, a different version. But Nelson says that it was not in the water, it was in the cemetery of kings, the royal cemetery. The next point it says, new point. The Oren of Yosef, they took it all those years in the Midbar. The Oren of Yosef and the Oren of the Shechina, the Oren, were going side by side. Next to each other. And people who saw it, they said, what is this? What are these two aronos? What are these two boxes? One is a coffin of a dead, and one is the Oren of the Shechina. The mace goes together with the Shechina. What is that? Amru, that this one, Yosef, he fulfilled everything it says in the Torah, in the Oren. It says in the Gemara about that there was such a minute to put a Sefer Torah on the Mitos Shomais and say Kim Zem Mashakasa Bazet, considered a big covered somebody that's right that they should do that. Here's even more that they put the Oren of Yosef next to the Oren, So also Kim Zeh Mashikos, they didn't do it because they had no place to put it. They were saying Kim Zeh Mashikos that this person fulfilled everything it says. Now the Gemara asks the question again about how come it sounds like Moshe had to take the bones of Yosef, or else nobody else would have done it. Moshe Yisrael well, Am Yisrael would not have taken care of the bones of Yosef. That after Moshe Rabbeinu died, so then Bnei Yisrael did take over, and they're the ones who carried the bones. So if Moshe Rabbeinu wouldn't have taken it the first leg of the journey also, but Bnei Yisrael would have done it. Why does it sound like only Moshe took it, nobody else took it? The Su, and second of all, Lo Yasku Bey Yisrael, Banavla Maski Bey. Even if Am Yisrael would not have, but his own Shevet, his own children, the grandchildren of Yosef, they wouldn't have taken care of their patriarch's bones. That they put the bones of Yosef in the Nachla of Yosef. They buried him over there. So the answer is same as before. Amru Hanichula, Kvoda Bimrubim Yosef Mimwatim, the Su Amru Hanichula, Kvoda Bigdolim Yosef Mimiktanim. It's true, they would have buried Am Yisrael would have buried him, the Shevet would have buried him, and the Am Yisrael would have buried him. But each one always said it's more covered. The same things like the Gemara said before, that the brothers of Yosef said that it's more covered that Yaakov should be buried by royalty, so they held back, even though they also wanted to. So too, Bnei Yisrael, the Shevet themselves would have wanted to, the Am Yisrael would have wanted to. But first, Am Yisrael let Moshe do it because it's more covered that the bones of Yosef should be taken care of by Moshe more than Bnei Yisrael. And when Bnei Yisrael, when Moshe died, the people of his children also would have wanted to take care of the bones of Yosef, but they let Bnei Yisrael because it's a bigger cover. Always they gave a bigger cover. They forfeited their own rights to be able to take care of their grandfather in order that there should be more covered for
all of Am Yisrael.
First of all, Am Yisrael and also the Shevet. All of Am Yisrael let Moshe Rabbeinu do it, and then when Moshe Rabbeinu died, so then his own Shevet, his own tribe, let Bnei Yisrael do it because it's more covered. It's more covered that Bnei Yisrael should do it than his own family. Ma'ishna b'Shechem, new point. Ma'ishna b'Shechem. Why did they bury him in Shechem? The Ma'aseh says at the end, here it is, Kavu b'Shechem. This should be over here, Kavu b'Shechem. Ma'ishna Shechem, how come they buried him dafka in Shechem? Because that was the Nachla of Yosef. But here it says, because he was stolen, he was kidnapped from Shechem when Yaakov sent Yosef to check out what was doing with the sheep and the brothers. So there it says they went to Shechem. So since they stole him from Shechem, so then they also returned him back to there, and that's where he was buried.
Dotan is next to Shechem.
What?
Dotan is part of
So Rashi has the kasha. That's Rashi's kasha. Rashi says different teretz than you. They're saying that the Chamda was asking that the Maisi, he wasn't in Shechem. They weren't in Shechem. They were in Dosan, and then Yosef went to Dosan. That's where he was sold, and not in Shechem. So Rashi says that Dosan is not really a place. Rashi says that it's a drash. Dosos a drash. The hard that's not the Pashup Shot because Dosan is a place you find it by Elisha. Also, there's a place called Dosan. So Chamda is answering that it's nearby. It's in the vicinity of Shechem. Contradiction. And one place it says that Moshe took the bones of Yosef. Another place it says that Bnei Yisrael is the one who took it up. So we said before that after Moshe died, so Am Yisrael continued. But here it sounds like they're the ones who took it up. It doesn't talk about Moshe. It just says Asma says Ashahelu Bnei Yisrael. They should have said Ashahelu Moshe. That Moshe took it out of Mitzrayim. If somebody started and somebody else finished, so the credit's all given to the one who finished. Even though Moshe Rabbeinu couldn't continue, it wasn't his fault. He died. He couldn't continue. But the Ma'aseh, the mitzvah is always attributed to the one who finished it off. So here Moshe started and Bnei Yisrael finished, so it's attributed to Bnei Yisrael. So here it talks about a side point if somebody could have finished and he didn't. But not Tana Moshe Rabbeinu because he wasn't able to finish. But somebody who started a mitzvah and could have continued and didn't, so then it's even considered a Tana on him. There's a side point because it's somebody that started a mitzvah and doesn't finish it. The Mesilas Yesharim brings us down about zrizos that a person is supposed to be alakritis and not postpone. Talks about if someone started a mitzvah, not to stop in the middle. If he's done this Gemara, Yehuda, he started the mitzvah. Which mitzvah did Yehuda start? he started saving Yosef, that he's the one who told the brothers, my bedside, and they sold him. So he's the one who started saving him, but he didn't finish it off. He could have finished it off already also and say, let's take him home and forget about it, whatever he could have explained. So he started the mitzvah, didn't finish it off. So Vayered Yehuda, that he went down. The Pashut over there is talking about Vayered Yehuda Meisachar, Vayelach Adulami. He went away from the brothers. But the more is actually Vayered, he had a Yerida. He went down because he lost his high position because he started a mitzvah and didn't finish it. But then he's also going to bury his wife and children. That his wife died, his children died. So that's all the Gemara attributes it to the punishment because he started a mitzvah and didn't finish it. Yeah, it's very common. It's a very common thing about somebody
So we learned that that person should finish his mitzvahs because the one who doesn't is going to bury you. Right?
This is it. He saw Mesilas Yesharim and we saw it, and he quoted it from here.
What about the person make a tanai before something? Like they don't want. Some people are going to be afraid to start mitzvahs. They
Well,
don't.
what's the tonight?
Finish the mitzvah.
I'm only planning on doing part of it.
And that could be maybe if Lachatchila. Why you'd also only plan upon doing part of it.
So I want to know. There's a whole bunch of svarim to clean. I don't have time to clean up all the svarim. I want to do one safer. I shouldn't do it because I don't want to get to the problem.
for some mitzvah. He's saying for some
So, I only need 100 shekel. I only have 10 shekel to give him. I should only give him 10.
Yeah, the point is if you could do more.
I mean, it could, but it's very difficult. Let's say right now it's comfortable for me to give him 10 shekel, not the whole 1,000 shekel, right? So maybe I'm going to give 20. Maybe I'm going to give 20.
But that's also not finishing it. The question is finishing it. Finishing it if you can't finish it.
Then maybe I'm going to take 5 svarim. There's 10
It's
svarim out on the table.
it's not the point about finishing it. That you want to know about finishing it. So then the question is you have to get a case where
But that's not
you
called
can finish it.
finishing.
You can finish it. Yeah, 5 minutes. Not finishing it. Finishing it means finishing it. That's the point over here. So in a case where you could finish it and you don't finish it, so it says that it's a time. Is it better not to start?
And the other way around, doesn't say Moshe was built the Mikvah, the Mishkan, even though Tzalo and the other.
Over there was there's no question about starting and not finishing. Over there, he did everything he's supposed to do. Over there it says that he was most nefesh with. That's why I think was that's right. I think.
So for him, it always works well.
L'chora, it's not better not to start. It doesn't sit well that he shouldn't start. But the point is, if somebody started, it means that he had the opportunity to do it. He had the opportunity. He started it, so no reason. Leaving it in the middle is like abandoning it. He shouldn't abandon it. But I don't think there's going to be a cheshbon not to start. It's even worse not to start. So the starting shows that he's there and he could do it. He understands. He has the ability to do it. How come you find that Yosef's called bones even in his lifetime? The truth is that Rashi says that the case is because he himself called himself bones. He said, take up my bones. He was still alive and he said, take up my bones. Pashpshat is because he knew they're not going to take him out until it's going to be bones. Yaakov didn't say my bones because he told them to take him up right away as soon as he's going to die. And he was embalmed. It wasn't bones yet. But Yosef also was embalmed. But it's not a kasha that he understood that he's going to be bones at the time. But the Gemara holds it for a kasha that he's called bones even in his lifetime. So how come? How come he was called bones even in his lifetime? That he didn't protest because of the honor of his father. At the time when the brothers came and they didn't know that it was Joseph, they thought that it was the prime minister of the viceroy of Mitzrayim. They didn't know who it was. And they said, Avrohom, you are a servant, our father. And he knew that he was his father. So he should have said, don't say Avrohom, whatever he should have said. And he didn't say that. So then, of course, we know why he didn't say it, because he was playing the role of being the viceroy. So he couldn't say, it's my father. But he should have said something. He should have stopped them. He says, you don't have to say Avrohom. But since he didn't protest, so that's considered bizoyon, and therefore he's called bones in his lifetime. It is. I think the other places it's posted as saying that that's why he died 10 years before his brothers, because he heard it 10 times. And over they said he heard it 5 times, and it's with the translator. So, but here it says not because not a reason why he died early. Here it says it's a reason why he's called bones in his lifetime. How come he died earlier? The first of his brothers, Yosef, died. He was the youngest almost, and he's died the first. Because he acted with authority. It means he was the he was talking to the leader, but there's a price to that. When a person acts with leadership, so then it makes his life shorter. Yosef, who had Mitzrayim, a little bit more about Yosef. This goes back, we're backtracking. Yosef was taken on to Mitzrayim when he was sold. Shahorid, it's like Nine Paro Migdula. So not only did he go down, but he brought down something else. What did he bring down? He brought down the sorcerers of Paro. Rashi says because they were not able, eventually, not right away, but about years later, so they were not able to translate the dream of Paro, and he was able to. So then they lost their position of greatness in the eyes of Paro, the Khartoum. They lost their high position status because they weren't able to translate the dream. The officer of Paro, he bought Yosef. So the more is a drash. I don't see the drash exactly, but it sounds like he wanted him for himself. And Rashi says he wanted him for sexual reasons. But Gabriel the Piro and Gabriel the Mala came and he sterilized. He made what's the word? He castrated Paro, Potiphar. Pekorok said Potiphar. Well, so Potiphar. So the word Pharaoh is to uncover, to over here is going to mean to what's the word you just said? Castrate. And just to point out that the Pshat, Potiphar and Potiphar are two different people. Potiphar is the one who bought him. Potiphar was the father of Osnas. Bas Potiphar, not the same person. They said Rash to say that it's the same person. And the fact that first it says Potiphar, then it says Potiphar, the Gemara learns that he castrated him. Milan Godlam and Moshe. Then it says after that, so Yosef was married, since he buried Yaakov, so Moshe buried him. Moshe is the one who took the bones, not buried him, he took the bones of Yosef. And now it's going to say that Moshe was Zocha, that Hashem is the one who took care of his burial.
Who was Potiphar?
There's Potiphar and Potiphar. Potiphar, in the Pashup Shah, Potiphar is the one who bought him.
Right.
And Potiphar is the father of Osnas, the girl that Yosef married. Osnas Bas Potiphar, Kohen known. Pashup Shah, he was the Kohen known, and he was the Sarat Tabach, two different people. But the Morris Dashning is the same person. Or the name at least. The name is going to be, yeah. So then Moshe was Zocha because he buried, he took care of Yosef's bones. So Hashem was the one who took care of his burial. So I was going to dash in the story about Moshe's death. So Moshe was asking Shmuel to go to Eretz Yisrael, and Hashem said, Rav Lach, I like enough. And don't ask me, I'll Tosef don't talk about it anymore. I'm Rav Levi, that the fact that Hashem said Rav Lach is because like an Onesh, that Moshe had said also something about Rav Lachem. But Rav Bisa, Rav Lachem, Rav Bisru, Rav Lach. That when he told Bnei Korach, they want Korach, he wanted to be the Kahuna, and Moshe said Rav Lachem Bnei Levi, like enough. So that's a taina that he said such a lashon to them. It could be that even though they did a bad intention and it's against the name, against the word of Hashem, but they were asking for kuna, and Moshe said, that's enough. What's the problem? You have enough. Rav Lachem. He shouldn't have said those words. So when he was told that he can't go to Eretz Yisrael, so also Hashem said Rav Lach, the same word like a midah keneged midah. Another pshat in the Rav Lach, Rav Yesh Lach, Yeshua, that there's a great person, means there's somebody king who's supposed to be taking over your position. You have the position right now of the leader, but there's a Rav, Yeshua is in line. He's supposed to be the leader now, so you can't be the leader anymore. A third pshat, Rav Lach, that shouldn't look as if Hashem is being tougher than Moshe Rabbeinu is again asking so much, and Hashem doesn't give a good impression how people will see that Hashem says you can't go. So don't ask so many times because it's not gonna. People will say that Hashem is midas adin so much that He doesn't allow. The Kolkach Lama Tadre Abishmal Lefum Gam L'Shech. How come it's so such a small thing is held against Moshe Rabbeinu? Either because the whole sin of maybe Riva, that it was very delicate sin that it's hard to know what it was even, or this thing that it says about Rav Lachem, Rav Lach, because Lefik Gam L'Shech, according to the camel, is the pile, means that the load that they load on to the camel, the stronger the camel, the more they load him up. So it means that that the bigger a person is, he's held more responsible. So Moshe Rabbeinu on his level was held responsible even for such a small thing.
Say what was the thing?
The film Gamla Shechna, according to the camel, is
what was the thing that Moshe was failed on.
Before it said either the whole story about Mem Riva, that the whole thing that he was not responsible for, and also it says here before that Rav Lachem, he shouldn't have said Rav Lachem to the Bnei to Korach, he shouldn't have said such a lashon of Rav Lachem, very delicate avera. So for someone like Moshe Rabbeinu was held responsible.
Because of that, it's just because they used that washing because the punishment is not to go to Eretz Yisrael, but they used the washing and Rav because.
But his Rav Lachem is considered a time against him. That he said to Korach, Rav Lachem and Levi is considered a time. Why is it considered a time?
I don't get it. He was
So that's
giving them
what the washing of Rav, but
But it's considered a time. Yeah, it's considered a time against him.
Sure
For a
is.
regular person, it wouldn't be considered a time.
a regular person, you wouldn't say Rav. Not that he couldn't go into Eretz Yisrael because he said Rav.
Right. You can't go to Israel because of Mem Riva. That's also the from Gamla Shechma. Whatever he did by Mem Riva, what happened to Mem Riva? That he hit the stone, whatever it might have been. That also is considered maybe from
Isn't
Gamla
Rav
Shechma.
a good way of mochiach them? Isn't it?
So it says that's a
sounds
kind of-
very perfect.
So it's-
you're looking. What do you expect? And you're getting so much.
So some will say Musavar that the Maisa they wanted more. They say somebody that you have enough, you know half the shots, it's enough. You don't say it's enough. By things that are asking for ruchnis, you don't say that it's enough. I'm not sure if that's the true shot. Some people say like that. That you don't say that it's enough. When somebody wants to go on a higher level, you say, yeah, you have so great, you do
But we
that.
held that Korach was.
Yeah, for sure. The Korach was wrong, but the terminology that he said is enough that he shouldn't have.
Yes.
Moshe Rabbeinu said that I'm 120 years today. That he says, Mamash today. Today was his birthday. That was the one before about Zayin Nado. Right? So here's the Gemara. That he says today I'm 120.
Right.
It's not the Pashup Shot, but the Gemara is saying that the word Hayom is extra. That Hashem completes the years of Sadiqim to the day. I'm going to fill the days of your life, the days of the number of your days. So Hashem counted that he should get a full life. The pasuk says further, I can't anymore come in and out. What does that mean? Moshe Rabbeinu said, I'm 120 years old and I can't anymore go in and out. It means physically that I can't walk. That he actually cannot go in and out. It says that he was 120, but his juice didn't leave him. He was full of vigor. So he was very strong. He wasn't like he was an old man. Another point to show that he was very strong on the day that he went to die. He went up to Har Nevo, and over there it says that it was like 12 levels. To go to Har Nevo, from Abbas Mov to Har Nevo was like 12 levels. It doesn't mean 12 steps, it means 12 levels. And Moshe went up in one step. Either means in one kind, without any effort, he was able to go up. So he was very strong even on his last day. So it wasn't like he was an old man. It wasn't mean that he wasn't able to learn anymore. That Hashem closed up the gates of wisdom. He didn't have the wisdom anymore. That's what he meant. He was ready, 120 came his time, and he wasn't able to learn Torah anymore. The pasuk continues. Moshe and Yeshua went and they stood in the Ol Moed towards the end over there. That was the Shabbos where it was the transition of the authority, that both of them were in authority that Shabbos, like a Shabbos called like a Shabbos of two authorities. So Moshe was giving over his authority to Yeshua. If not for the following pasuk, we wouldn't be able to say it. What does it say? It's going to say now that Hashem took the body of Moshe to bury him. Where did Moshe Rabbeinu die? In the portion of the Shevet Ruben. Har Nevo is the place where he died. Nevo, the city of Nevo, is in the portion of Ruben. How do we know? Many cities, and one of them is Nevo. As Nevo. Nevo is one of the cities of Ruben. But Moshe Rabbeinu was buried in the portion of God, the different Shevet. Then the pasuk says that Moshe Rabbeinu was buried in the Shevet of God. So how did he get from Ruvain to God? It's 4 kilometers away. Who took Moshe Rabbeinu's body from Nevo until the place where he was buried? That Hashem, whatever that means, the wings of the Shekhinah, and Hashem moved him from Nevo until the place of his burial. Now it says,
I'm not understanding why it should be buried in Reuben, or we're not dealing with the reason.
it doesn't say he was buried in Reuben. It says that he went up to Har Nevo, which is in Reuben, and he was buried in the Chiluk of God.
Oh.
That's what it says. And
I
the
see.
question is, how did he get there? How was his body transported? So it says the Shekhinah took him. You're not going to say the Shvachim that the Malachim said and what Hashem said about him. That he did the righteousness of Hashem. Moshe Rabbeinu did the righteousness of Hashem, and he did all the laws of with Am Yisrael. Hashem was praising Moshe Rabbeinu just like the Spaden. Hashem said about Moshe Rabbeinu that who is going to be with me with the Rishon, who's going to stand up against the workers of evil, means that Moshe Rabbeinu was the one who rebuked Am Yisrael whenever they did bad. So Moshe Rabbeinu was the one. Now Hashem is saying who's going to be there. A different pasuk that Hashem said, who's the wise one, who knows how to make the compromise or the interpretation. So it means to be able to be the middleman when Am Yisrael did bad and they needed somebody to daven to Hashem, like Moshe Rabbeinu many times.
He knew how to compromise. Is that?
I don't know the words compromise as much as I said compromise, but maybe it means more how to daven to Hashem that he should be Mochel Am Yisrael. Where's there going to be wisdom? Means the wisdom came from Moshe, and now Hashem saying there's no Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe, Eved Hashem. I guess that's the end of the pasuk. So that's the pasuk that Hashem was saying. Smalion Omer. Who's that? Who's Smalion? So some say it's the name of a chacham that we don't find any place else. Place means that maybe it was a malach. I don't know. It says Vayam Hashem Moshe Safer Rabbi Yisrael. That's what Hashem was saying. That Moshe died. The great scribe of Yisrael. The Safer doesn't only mean a scribe. It means like the Talmud Chacham, the teacher, the big teacher of Am Yisrael. Moshe Rabbeinu died. Tanya Abulazah God Lomer. Shnei Mosamil Al Shnei Mosamil Kineged Machni Yisrael. Baskal Mashmiya Vaomer. Vayamas Moshe Safer Rabbi Yisrael. That for the whole Machna Yisrael, which was 12 mil by 12 mil, there was a heavenly voice coming out that was saying, Vayamas Moshe, like it echoed, resonated in the air. Vayamas Moshe Safer Rabbi Yisrael. That Moshe, the great teacher of Am Yisrael, died. Some say Moshe didn't die. The pasuk says Moshe died. But some say Moshe didn't die. By Moshe Rabbeinu, when he went to Har Sinai, it also says Sham. Here it says Vayam Sham. Over there, he didn't die. He was serving before Hashem. So too, even though it says Vayamas, it doesn't mean literally Vayamas. It doesn't mean that he died. The Gemara goes further, more about the burial of Moshe. But I didn't prepare this well, so I try to do it together. We have time, so we'll try to get some extra behind. Maybe we can catch up a little bit. But Bagai Beres Moab, Mul Beis Por. It says Moshe Rabbeinu was buried in a valley, Bagai, in the land of Moab, opposite Beis Por. Amar Bechia, Simon Besoch Simon. So then the pasuk says that nobody knows where he's buried, even though it tells you very distinct. Bagai, Eretz Moab, Mul Beis Por says exactly where he is. But still, nobody knows where he's buried. What's Gistera? Rashi says, Moshe, that Malchus Romi, they sent to the government of Beis Por, they want to know where Moshe Rabbeinu is buried. They wanted to find out Moshe Rabbeinu's burial. Show us where Moshe is buried. Amdu Lamala, Nidmem Lamata, Lamata, Nidmem Lamala, Nechakal Shtekitos, Osen Shamdim Lamala, Nidmem Lamata, Lamata, Nidmem Lamala. That first they went on top and they saw Moshe Rabbeinu's kever on the bottom. They went to the bottom, they saw it on the top. They divided into two groups. Each one saw that he's in another place. The one on the bottom saw that he's on top. The one on top saw he's on the bottom. So Hashem said, no one's going to know. No one's going to know where his burial is. So to fulfill what the pasuk says, that no one's going to know. No one knows where he's buried. So it doesn't help to make a search party. It's not going to help. He himself doesn't know where he's buried. When it says that Ish, the pasuk is nobody, no man. But according to the Drash, the word Ish is referring to Moshe Rabbeinu himself, because you find that he's called Ish Elokim. So when it says even the Ish Elokim himself also does not know where he's buried. Why was he buried over there next to Beis Por? Por was a kind of an avodah zarah that Am Yisrael was nifshal over there by the times of Bilam, and because they needed a kapara, so Moshe Rabbeinu was buried there. That it should be a kapara for the avodah zarah Por.
What happened to the original Navo and the Ruvain and then?
Before the Gemara said he went in the he was buried someplace else.
But
He wasn't buried in the
4 miles away, 4 kilometers away.
In the Shevet of
What's
God.
it going to do with?
That's where it is. That's more base for. That's where it is. You should go after Hashem. Is it possible to follow the Shekhinah? Hashem is fiery. How is it possible to go after Hashem? How does it come in here? Maybe only because of the name, I'm not sure. So how could you go after Hashem? To emulate Hashem, to be like Hashem. It's going to come in because it's going to talk about the burial. Just like Hashem clothed the naked, like you see that Hashem clothed Adam and Chava, so too be like Hashem and clothe the naked. Hashem also visits to take care of the sick. We say visit. Bikar means to check whatever they need. That Hashem came to take care of Avrohom when he was sick. So take care of the sick. A third thing, Hashem comforts the mourning. We know that Hashem came to comfort Yitzchak after Avram died. Also be like Hashem and comfort the mourning. Because Baruch cover Mason, looks like Hashem buried the dead, like it says by Moshe, Hashem buried Moshe. So too, be like Hashem and bury the dead. Once we mentioned Kosnosor, it says by Adam and Chava that Hashem made for them Kosnosor. What's that? One says that it means the thing that comes out of the skin, out of the hides, which means what? Wool? Is that what it means? Comes out of the ore? Yeah, Rashi says Dava Bom or Shel Semer, who made out of, means another way of saying wool. Wool comes out of the skin of the sheep. And the next chapter is going to say Shor Nenemi Menu Shel Pishtan. Shadam Move Sama Paoro, the thing that people are comfortable on their skin, Pishtan, it seems here that Pishtan is comfortable. We don't have too much Pishtan nowadays.
Does the Rebbe Meir's Peshat of coordinate with another?
Here it doesn't say that. That's not going to be a pshat. That'll be the drush. It doesn't. It says with an iron, so it's not going to be. It's not the pshat level. What do you say? What do you think Kosner saw at Pashup Shat? What would you say? Kosner saw at Pashup Shat? A leather coat. A leather coat.
Yeah.
That's okay. Either Pshat says, either it says Semer or Pishton. Those are the two Pshatim the Gemara says over here. The beginning of Torah is about doing kindness, and the end is doing kindness. The beginning is where you see Hashem clothed Adam and Chava. That Hashem buried Moshe. So the beginning is about clothing the naked, then it's about burying the dead. It's all about Milas Hasadim.
When everybody says it was a fig leaf
No, that's the beginning. That's what they cover themselves with.
what happens they come themselves?
And that's Pasuk says.
Right.
No, that's Pasuk says. But then it says Hashem gave them Kosna Soul. Both Psukim. Why did Moshe desire to go to Eretz Yisrael? Did he have to eat the fruit? Or he wanted to be satiated from the goodness on a physical level. There are many mitzvahs to do, and they only can be in Eretz Yisrael. So he wanted to go in order to be able to do the mitzvahs. That you want to get the reward of doing the mitzvahs. I'm going to give you the reward as if you would have done it. Right.
Again.
And also another kasha would be that then it says Hashem said you could see Eretz Yisrael. But the purpose is to do the mitzvahs, then you don't get you benefit from seeing Eretz Yisrael. That there has to be more than something deeper over here.
Okay, didn't Hashem show him Eretz Yisrael and just to look at it? Is that?
Yeah, I just said that.
But
The Gemara says here the reason why
that doesn't
wanted
help
to
him.
go in.
How it didn't help because he really didn't go there. I guess that by Hashem it made him like he was there. Is that what
It doesn't say here because it's he saw it. Here it says that I'm giving you, since you want to go, I'm giving you schar as if you would have, as if you would have done the mitzvahs. You'll get schar as if you would have done all the mitzvahs. Shenem malachena chalek lo berabim, ves asumim b'chalek shalo, tachas asher herolam abes nafsho ves poshim nimna. Who chet rabim nasa, v'la poshim yavgia. So remember, brings the whole pasuk. This is in Yeshaya. In Yaskalavdi over there. So the words, therefore, I'm going to give him the Rabbim, like amongst many or the schar of many, and he's going to divide spoils together with the strong ones because he gave himself over to die, and he's counted with sinners, and he carried the sin of many, and for the sinners he prayed. The more dash is the whole thing. I'm going to give him reward. You might think like the later generation, not like the early generations. No, that's Tatsumim. He's going to get Shalom spoils together with the strong ones. Who's that? Avrohom, Yitzchak, Yaakov, Shein Atsumim, the Tova Mitzvahs. They're going to get. Moshe is going to get his reward like Avrohom, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. Because he gave over himself to death. Where you find Moshe? That he's ready to be erased from the Sefer of Hashem because of Am Yisrael. So he dedicated his life to Am Yisrael. Best Poshim Nimna, that he's counted together with the sinners. Shenimna and Meisei Midbar, he's counted together with those who died in the Midbar. He also died in the Midbar. He didn't go to Eretz Yisrael. He carries the sin of the masses. That he atoned for the Aveira of the Egel. That he davened for the sinners. That he davened that the sinners should do tshuva. How do you find that the word Yavgia means to pray? And it says the words Hashem told the Yirmiyah not to daven, and it says the words Altiv Gabi, which means don't daven. So you see that Pegiyah is tefillah, and Hashem here it says that there's Poshim the what does it say here? The Poshim Yavgia, that he used to daven for the sinners, that Moshe davened for the sinners that they should do tshuva. Yashikoach. Yashikoach, everybody.
I started saying over what you told me yesterday about, you told us about